My God, the quality of these fan films lately, it's pretty damn inspiring. Let's review Halloween Inferno Parts 1 and 2. What's up, guys? Recently, if you remember, I reviewed Halloween Night, and I was actually pretty floored by that fan film. I thought it was very well done. And right after I did that one, I got a lot of messages from people saying, hey, if you like this one, you might want to check out Halloween Inferno. And I didn't know much about Halloween Inferno. I had heard of it, but I just didn't really give it too much of a chance. You know, like I said, I don't review like every fan film, but if I do hear some rumblings, some buzz about a fan film, then of course I'm gonna, put my eye on it. Really, the big thing about these movies, because there's a part 1 and part 2, they take place after the events of Halloween 2018. Right away, that sparked my interest. That and just the buzz around these two shorts. They're really shorts. They're not like full-on films. One of them's like 8 minutes long, and the other one, let's say 12 minutes long, something like that. So I thought, hey, this is nice and easy too, real quick, easy watches. Let's see what this thing looks like. Now, the director here is James Coleman, but as most of you know, with any film, especially fan films, it's a group effort. James Coleman, though, he's the guy behind this, him and his brother, Vince Coleman. And let me just say, I was pretty damn floored by the quality of the production in these shorts. Let me get down to the nuts and bolts, the details of what I really liked. Now, if we start with the first one, part 1, like I said, this is like 8 minutes long. Right after the events of Halloween 2018, we see Laurie Strode's house. It's on fire, and there's this guy. He's in this car, and of course, he sees what's going on. He reacts to it. He's like, "You're not going to believe this. The house, it's just in flames." And so then there's a scene there with Myers. Getting into the car, which is really going to remind you of like the scene with Annie in the first Halloween. Actually, it plays out very similar. He's using jumper cables, which I thought was pretty cool, as far as being like inventive with the kills. I don't think I've ever seen jumper cables used in a kill before, at least in this fashion. But really, right away, I gotta say, the first thing that really jumped out at me was the presentation, the production. It looks very slick, and these were shot with 4K cameras. Myers himself, the attention to detail with the mask, like, this is probably the best fan film mask I think I've ever laid eyes on. It's a very great mask. And I was talking about in Halloween Night how the mask is not the be-all, end-all in terms of like the quality of your overall production. You can still make a great movie on a low budget, and if your mask budget has to suffer, no worries, it can still work. Look at Halloween 4, for God's sake. But no worries whatsoever on the mask in this movie. Like I said, it looks so good. You see like the burn marks on the side. I was getting a little bit of like the burn marks from like the end of Halloween Resurrection. Not in the quality of that movie, of course, but just the way the mask looked. With a mixture, of course, of the Halloween 2018 mask. But then right after that, there's an homage to like the scene in Halloween 2018. Let's just say it's an homage to the hammer scene. If I say hammer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Without giving too much away, oh my God, the hammer action in this scene, let's just say the Coleman brothers really got creative in terms of killing with a hammer. I just watched like Last Blood, the extended cut yesterday. That scene where Rambo's like going to town with the hammer. Think like that, stuff that makes you a little bit squeamish, because can you imagine getting hit over the head with a hammer? Not fun at all. In the quick scene in Halloween 2018, he does his business, drops a hammer, he's out of there. In this one, they have a lot of fun with the hammer, I'll just say that. But also the camera work in this is very pro level, it's feels like a one-take shot. If I go back and look at it, I might see a cut or two, or I might not, I could be wrong, but let me just say, I was with this shot all the way through, going through the house, seeing this couple arguing. That alone built some tension right there too, because you got this couple arguing, not knowing that Myers is waiting right outside the house. He's gonna come in and he's gonna do some damage. So I dug that. And then all of a sudden, it was over. And I was like, oh, you get so invested in it that you forget that it's a short. And that's a good thing. That's definitely a pro. So then I couldn't wait. I had to jump into part 2. I gotta know what's going on. Lucky for me, part 1 came out 6 months before part 2. So I'm kind of glad I didn't know anything about this until after both parts were done. And I must say, I actually prefer part 2 as much as I really enjoyed part 1. Part 2 really ups the ante in terms of the kills, actually. But kills aside, one thing I really liked about part 2 was that it played with the story a little bit more. And it even goes back and shows you the scene where Hawkins actually catches Myers, which I thought was a nice little treat, actually. Because Hawkins is probably one of our favorite characters from Halloween 2018. It's a shame that the guy ended up dying. But if you like Hawkins, you're going to get a lot of Hawkins love in this, especially in part 2. But also, I was talking about how this one leans a little bit more on the story. Hawkins' daughter is in this. She finds out about Hawkins' death. So there's a lot of stuff that really blends in with Halloween 2018 very well. This would be a nice little companion to watching Halloween 2018, actually. But then there's this awesome little scene in the garage. You get a little bit of eye candy coming at you first with this girl talking to her husband. I believe it's her husband. And then Myers comes in. One thing I like about this fan film is the stalking aspect of Myers. Michael stalks really well in both these, actually. You know, he's always kind of lurking in the background while whatever's going on in the frame. But you put Myers in a garage setting, I think the possibilities are endless because of all the tools that are laying around. And without giving too much away, because guys, I don't want to give too much away. I want you guys to go into this and really just enjoy it. But I'll just say 2 words: axe and soldering torch. That's all I'm going to say, okay? A lot of fun to be had with those 2 words. And there's a really chilling scene with the daughter in the second part as well. Guys, I had a blast with both of these. I really wanted more. If I had to pick it apart, give it any cons, I'd say the acting's a little shaky here and there in parts, but it didn't take me out of the movie whatsoever. Also, there's an actor playing Brooks that I thought did a really good job, and he's spitting image of Brooks, actually. We didn't see too much of Brooks in Halloween 2018, so that was kind of a nice thing as well. And also, this really leaves you wanting more, and the good news for you guys is there is an Indiegogo campaign for part 3 available. I think it's right now. I'll put a link to it below in the info box so you can check it out. Please go support this because I was pleasantly surprised by this. And it's just another example of great fan films out there. You know, we had Never Hike Alone, Halloween Night, now this. It just keeps getting better and better and better. And if I'm being honest, guys, I was never a fan film guy until like probably Never Hike Alone. Before Never Hike Alone, I never cared to look at fan films. I'm sure there were plenty of good ones out there, but it's just something I wasn't invested in. Now, I'm always curious when there's like a new Halloween or Friday the 13th fan film out there, or even Chucky. There's a Child's Play one coming out that looks really good. I actually did a reaction for that, freaking accidentally deleted it from my computer. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. But anyway, guys, also I'll post links to part 1 and part 2 of Halloween Inferno. If you haven't seen them, then like me, you'll be lucky. You'll be able to see both of them. You know, boom, boom. Also, can't stress enough how badass Myers looked in these. So anyway, guys, have you seen Halloween Inferno parts 1 and 2? Let me know. Again, support the Indiegogo for part 3. Really curious to see where that story goes. But good job, Coleman Brothers. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day on Fridays. We do Free For All Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And somebody actually said they thought I said rub one out, and I didn't say rub one out. I said Drumdum out.